to give you the latest on what's going on out there in the weather community. We have the potential of Tropical Storm Bertha that will be in effect. Going to be for areas that are along the Florida coast, the Louisiana area. We're going to see if this storm is actually, as you can see right here on this HRRR model, the 12Z run. We had a little bit of a shift. We look like we can see that possibility of that storm moving in the direction that's going to be along, and you can't see the low pressure, but here it is, moving along the areas of the western areas towards the New Orleans area. Could we see this make a Louisiana landfall? Could anybody get a landfall? Will this storm die out or whatnot? So many questions are to be asked, but make sure you subscribe. If you like content like this, share this with a person you know, and let's get right into it. So as you can see here, we have that area of low pressure that's going to be west of Florida. This low pressure is going to be moving along the areas, like I said, the Florida coast and whatnot. And as you can see there, look at the millibars. The lower the millibar, the stronger the storm. And this is almost up to tropical storm standards. As you can see, it goes to 1,005 millibar low, and then it goes to 1,006. And what that's telling me there is that there's the potential of that low pressure that's going to be there. So that low pressure is going to, that tells me the potential, maybe wind shear, maybe desert, sand, dust, all of that stuff. Well, not desert, but the dust from the desert, the Saharan desert dust from that area. So that's probably going to be some factors that are in there. We also do have a scenario of basically this storm is really wiggling around, if I'd say so myself. We don't know which direction the storm could go, left, up, to the right. I mean, there's a lot of questions on the table. So what we're going to do here is we're going to look at the models runs that are going along here. And we're going to take a look. Let's look at the latest GFS run right now. It's around about 1:30 p.m., about time this is recorded. And we're going to look at the 12Z run, which is going to be our 12 p.m. update. And as you can see from the GFS run around the 19th, we are still having this tropical moisture that's blobbing around. It's not really anything that's showing any low pressures, but you can see all of these tropical downpours from the GFS. It's just kind of hanging out, and then that storm sort of disappears. Now let's look at the Euro model, and the Euro model has always shown a stronger sort of scenario, or like a well-defined area, than the GFS. And here's a look at the Euro model, and it's just a little bit of tropical characteristics. They end up dying out, and that's pretty much it. But as I look over here, and I've saw this before in the model runs, look at that area that's rotating here off the Euro model. And I think we saw this off the GFS. I could be completely wrong, but what I'm noticing here is, like, in this area right here, well, that's not circle. In this area right into here, there's like a circulation. You see that storm that's moving around? It's tracking right about there. And I just want to show you on that model run, and I'm going to track it so you guys can see what's going on. But like right into here, you can see the area of rotation that's showing. Could that very well be a tropical developing storm that will be up in the next few days? We have to see. But let's focus on the potential. Are we going to get Tropical Storm Bertha here? Right now, we are seeing the rotation that's happening there. To be honest with you, this is performing in a way where a tropical storm name is very well possible. And as we look at the National Hurricane Center, which is going to be the outlook from them, we're going to look on Weatherfront. Oh, we actually have an update here from the National Hurricane Center. We have a medium chance of development. This update literally just came in not too long ago, actually. This is new to me. We have a 40% chance of development, a medium chance in the Gulf area, and a 30% chance. That's going to be a low chance, a 30% chance in the next 2 days. So this storm is actually going to show us we have the potential of that going on here. So that disturbance that was over there, if that rolled off the coast of Africa, that is gone. We do have a few disturbances here in the Pacific, but as you can see here, that is new information that has just popped in from the National Hurricane Center. 40%, a medium chance in the next 7 days. This is why we have to keep our eyes on this, and just 30% in the next 2 days. So what does that tell us? We're going to have a lot of rainfall to talk about that's going to be along these coastal areas as well. And Texas, I'm going to get to you in a second as well. So right now, look along the coast. We have the west coast of Florida and the coastal areas around the Big Bend region and whatnot. Flash flooding is possible today as we get into tomorrow around those coastal sections. As you can see, shower and thunderstorm activity. Then we're going to have some regular shower and thunderstorm activity. It's going to be around the Atlanta area. Our day 3 outlook, as you can see, we're just going to look at that mainly. We're seeing the potential of flooding going to be mainly along this coast. To be honest, we're probably going to have an invest number at this point as this storm. Not saying it's going to form. We're probably going to have an invest with the potential of this happening to become a tropical storm. Now, let's go over to my folks in Texas, because we've been having a lot of flooding, some deadly flooding that's been going on around San Antonio. That's going to shift as you get towards El Paso and Phoenix. In your day 2 outlook, we're still around El Paso and Phoenix, and day 3 around day 3, we're going to get into those areas as well. So a lot of flooding that'll be in effect. And that's just something we have to look out for. So Storm Prediction Center, what do we have going on today? We do have the severe weather alert that the severe weather outbreak that we have to watch out for in the Northeast as potential. If you live in areas west of New York, you do have that level 3 out of 5 risk. Areas around that, you're going to have the slight risk around the marginal as far south as Augusta, the I-20 corridor, Columbia, up into Florence and areas like that. So as you can see in these areas, the tornado outlook for today going to be mainly around the New York area. We have to watch out for this. This is a 5% chance of a tornado risk around those areas. We got the 2% wind threat. Going to be a big wind threat around the New York area. As you can see, the pink is on your screen. 45% wind threat, and the hail threat going to be mainly around the New York area, those same areas and areas of the Midwest. As we get into tomorrow, we're going to let's look at our categorical data there. We're going to have a little bit of a southern outbreak here that's going to be around the eastern Atlantic areas. As you can see there, east of Charlotte, you're going to have that severe weather threat. Tornado threat, not going to be really a problem tomorrow at all whatsoever, but as you get into your wind threat, going to be those same areas that have that. So I just want to make sure that you have that categorical stuff up there. It's probably going to be around Great Falls, not really Great Falls, but Bismarck, into those areas, the same areas of Grand Forks and whatnot, those areas continuing to have that severe weather that's battering them in those areas. So as we get the tornado threat, the wind threat, the hail threat, the wind threat, going to be those same areas that I talked about. The hail threat is going to be in the north around those areas. Not going to be really in the south, so that's going to be around Fargo and around those areas right there. So that's something that we got to watch out for. So as far as this tropical development that we want to talk about, also let me get to the day 3. That's going to be in Monday. You're going to have a marginal risk around the same areas. Again, look at the Midwest there. You're going to have that chance there, and there's probabilistic forecasts that you can see there of that chance of severe weather. So really, let's talk about what the National Hurricane Center has gone in, because this is literally new news to me. They've literally just updated this not too long ago. So we have a medium chance. As you can see, the color was yellow here, and we actually did have an area where we were looking up into these areas of the Carolinas. So everybody in the Carolinas, this is good. Although I won't say that you won't have impacts. You'll still probably have the showers and thunderstorm activity, but this is good for folks that are in Georgia and the Carolinas. You're out of this zone now, but that still means you're possible. We don't know where this storm is going to go. So this doesn't mean that these areas are going to get affected. No. What this X means is the X is where our area of low pressure is, our area of circulation. That orange area means the area that it could develop in. So it even could develop right here into Florida, and it goes out that way. It could develop right here near Alabama. It goes out that way. And it could develop right there in New Orleans, and then goes out that way. So this is really just our area of development that is going to be possible across areas of the South. So what is the and that's the Weather Prediction Center that's showing our flash flood threats. So what do we have going on here with we're going to look at some more model runs. I know we looked at the GFS. We looked at the Euro model. Now let's look at some few other models. Let's look at can we look at the NAM? We can look at the NAM, and we can actually look at the 12Z run. So as you can see, they have the area of rotation that's going on. Let's look and see if we can get the low pressure there. You have a millibar low here, and look at what it does here on the NAM. The NAM right here is going to show us, look at that area rotating as you get that low area. And right there in New Orleans, not to say this is where landfall or anything like this will happen, but this is something to watch out for. Right near New Orleans, impact's going to be very along that Gulf Coast over there, entering the Alabama area. So that's just a scenario that we can play out here. This is what the latest NAM has showed us here. And we can keep looking at models here, not the AIGFS. Let's not do it. That's going to show us temperatures. I think we can look at the icon. Yes, we can look at the icon. So what is the icon going to show us here? So we have an area, just a lot of tropical moisture sitting right here in Tampa. Let's see what the scenario paints out for us. We're just looking at different models, showing different data, seeing what we can get out of this. And you do have, look at that area. You can definitely tell that there's tropical moisture there. You have your 1008 millibar low, and then it goes into Louisiana. So I think, as well as you can see, the National Hurricane Center has shifted those models out. And I think this is why the idea of these models are showing. That's why they've shifted that area over towards the New Orleans area, like near the New Orleans area, because we've seen a little bit of a shift of a model run here, where the storms are not pulling more to the east anymore. They're pulling more to the west and trying to go out in that direction. So I'm going to circle right here into these areas right here, and those areas, well, really everybody. If you're in these areas that I've circled right here, you need to be watching out at multiple looking at just looking at weather information there, you just need to be on alerts there. Look at right there into that area that I had circled. These areas specifically need to be paying attention, having a way to get those alerts, even though it's not going to be as powerful as a Cat 1. If we even get to Cat 1, Cat 1 is a possible scenario, but even if we get to a Category 1 area, really anything is possible, but I don't want to say a full-blown Category 5 is going on. I mean, I really don't know exactly what's going to happen with the storm. It could go in any direction or whatnot. The storm could even die out or not even make landfall. But these are the things I want you to be prepared for. So we need you to stay safe, have a way to get those alerts. We're going to have some heavy rainfall and shower thunderstorm activity that's going to be along areas of the coast. So if you're around anywhere along the coast as of right now, I wouldn't say Texas is in necessary danger yet, but keep an eye out on Texas. I don't want to say this is going to be a powerful storm. We just really don't know what this storm is going to be the end result of. But as we get closer and closer to this, as we get closer into this development, and now we're at the medium chance of what the National Hurricane Center is showing us, I'm going to eventually give you more details as the time goes on. So we're going to try to provide you with the most information that is possible. We're going to get you covered here. Here talking about the weather, and we're going to basically give you the ideas of what's going on here. So let's look at our, if we can see, let's look at our alerts. It's actually going to be a hot day across areas of the country right now. Look at these heat advisories. They're going to be mainly along the coast. This includes the areas of around, let's see, I think that's east of Macon. No, that's going to be Macon. This includes the areas of Macon, Augusta, Charleston, Savannah, areas of the Columbia area as well. If you're east of Charlotte, you're going to have those heat advisories. Heat advisories also along the river there in those parts, as you have as well the air quality alerts that'll be in the north. We have to watch out for these air quality alerts. They're just becoming, the air quality is going to be very, very dangerous. And as you can see here, here's a look at our severe thunderstorm watch that's in effect. We do have a severe weather outbreak that I remember I wanted to talk to you guys about in New York. So look at here. This is what the severe thunderstorm watch is showing us here. This is what weather front. And look, tornado low intent 20%. Even if we have a low chance of a tornado, that doesn't mean a tornado won't happen at all. You need to be prepared for the possibility of a tornado, and we want to rather be safe than sorry. So as you can see there, tornado low than 20%, EF2 plus tornado possible, low 5%. But look at the wind, high 80%. These thunderstorms are probably going to give us 60 plus miles per hour, 75 plus miles per hour winds is a low of 20%. 1 inch of hail is possible at the low 20%, and the 2 inches of hail is going to be a low of 10% as well. So we really want to watch out for this area. We actually do have a tornado warning that is in effect for those areas right there just southeast of Rochester, New York. So that's something we want to watch out for. Severe thunderstorm warnings in areas of Raleigh and things like that. Remember that severe weather threat is going to extend to the south. Look at all those special weather statements. But we do have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect here. Would I be surprised if we had a tornado watch that was in effect there just outside of New York? I wouldn't be surprised at all, but that's something we need to watch out for. We have the air quality. And I know the air quality has been bad, so let me just show you the satellite view of what we got going on here. And look down here in the satellite view, actually, just before I get to this air quality, look at that rotation. You definitely could see that there is a eye building up. This is a well-organized system right now. Normally we see these systems, they're a little bit sloppy and whatnot, but this is actually a well-organized system. We can see the areas of rotation just sitting outside of here of Miami, Tampa region, and look at those clouds that are in effect there. They're just rotating around in that area. And let's look at the north of what's going on now. We do have the air quality concerns that are going on here with the ongoing wildfires, and there's a lot of cloud cover here, but really this wildfire smoke is going to be spread across areas well along the northeast areas, and you can see that with the alerts from the National Weather Service there. I'm trying not to get these names messed up, but right around the National Weather Service, we can see it there. Look at that. So that's a severe thunderstorm watch. So we not only do we have the air quality, we have the severe thunderstorms that are possible, dense smoke advisories. There's a lot going on here in the northeast, so make sure you have a way to get those alerts. We want you to keep safe. Out here in the west, we do have areas, I think those are some beach hazards, some rip current statements probably. Let's see what's going on there. High surf advisory going to be in effect from San Diego along Los Angeles, those areas. As we get into Phoenix, Arizona, Albuquerque, you have some flood watches, flood warnings. Remember Texas, we've been having that flood, so flood warnings and advisories in effect there. Heat advisory is going to be building in the west, as well as air quality alerts that are building in the west as well, along with those red flags there in the weather community. Have a great rest of your weekend or in your Saturday. Have a great day. My name is Michael. I'll see you out there in the weather community. Make sure to subscribe and share this video with another one. Be safe.